Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Ugh, my throat is dry. I'm out here in the desert filming a real estate spec, and I wanted to talk to you guys about lenses and lens choice specifically. So when you're going through the lenses that you have or the lenses that you want for your productions, maybe you're doing YouTube talking head videos, maybe you're doing branded content for a brand. There's a lot of things that go into the consideration of like what lenses you need to use, what lenses that you want to use. You need something at the ultra wide end. You need a nice little zoom, whether that be like an 18 to 35, 24 to 105, something like that, where it's better for run and gun. I really apologize, my throat is killing me. And then a couple of like prime lenses, something for like your close-ups, your portraits, anything where you want to be more close up into the action, into your subject or your talent. So let's put it into some context, right? For this real estate spec, I'm shooting on the GH5 with mostly my ultra wide lens, the laowa 12mm f2.80D, and I've had this lens longer than any of my other lenses. Fujinon, it's like one of the lenses that I first bought for my filmmaking career, doing a lot of capturing spaces, capturing venues, hotels, things like that, right? And so one lens that I haven't sold and I probably won't sell, I don't know, for a very, very, very long time. But anyways, it's an ultra wide lens for full frame and it has zero distortion, right? So if you're filming like lines, let me see here. So if you're filming like lines here, right? A lot of times wide lenses, they like warp things in, right? They warp things in. And that's not something that you necessarily want if you're selling architecture, if you're selling a space, you want things to look pretty clean cut for the most part, right? That being said, having a zoom lens as well to, complement your ultra wide angle lenses, I think is also a necessity, right? You may not use it like 99% of the time, but you might use it like 70% of the time, 80% of the time, right? So for me, that is the fujinon, you guys can see this. What's a good angle? So for me, that is the fujinon MK18-55. Now it doesn't have to be like this specific lens I'm telling you to go buy. I'm not telling you to buy any lens, right? I'm showing you guys the lenses that I use 100% of the time. So with the fujinon 18-55 on a micro four thirds sensor, if you haven't seen my last video, go check it out where I talk about how to use the 18-55 and why I use it on micro four thirds sensors. But anyways, if you're using it on like the GH5, it's pretty a long telephoto lens. But on the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, it equates to a 33mm to 101mm lens. It has great bokeh. It has very, very sharp detail, even wide open at a t2.9. It's a constant aperture as well too. And with that, the one thing I love about the lens is the actual control, right? It's manual focus, but it has enough of a focus throw where you can use it with your hand, right? Use it with your hand. I don't know if is that even a good angle? I think that works. You can use it with your hand, or you can use it with like a wireless follow focus system, or just a standard follow focus system. So the Fujinon MK18-55 is a lens that I use, sorry about that audio too, specifically mostly, I'm just checking if I'm in focus right now. Specifically, mostly for like interviews, I use them a lot because if I shoot in 4K, then I can have like a wide image that I'm able to punch in, because the majority of the time I'm delivering in 1080p for like 99% of my clients. Along with that is also a verite documentary, right? Where you're following subjects around, or maybe even one person. That could be like a music video. Also in your context, it could be like a short film or anything where you need to follow people and the action is happening organically. I use that lens, and it's really just a great all-purpose lens, right? It gets me everything from my wide shots, my medium shots, my close-up shots, moderate low light filming, pretty good, T2.9, fine control, like I said, and it's just a beautiful lens. Has sharp detail, and it's everything that you could want in one cine zoom lens. Jumping back in, sorry, had to film stuff, client work stuff. Gotta work sometimes, Anyways, I'm filming right now on the laowa 12mm f2.8. With the speed booster, the GH5 is something. I'll put it over here. Anyways, but prime lenses, right? Sometimes you need a prime lens, wide angle lens, maybe you're doing selfie vlog type of stuff, you know? We're shooting some more stuff, got a whole probably 5 or 6 more hours of filming. And come back into this light really quick. Yeah, we got another like 5 or 6 more hours of filming. So that being said, the lens choices is what really helps to dictate like your time on set, the locations you have, how much time you can film there, and also you know, how fast you need to be. Now, last but not least is my last lens. It's a lens that I use mostly for like interviews, and if I need to have one lens that I know can kind of get the job done, you know, that's something that I can move back if I need to get a wide shot, something that I can move in closer to get kind of like a close-up shot or medium close-up shot, is the SLR Magic 25mm micro prime T1.5. So it's actually the older brother to their older version of it, or the past version of it, which is a hyper prime T.95. And the thing about that lens, the T.95, is it flares really easily. It is very, very small, very, very lightweight, so it's not too cumbersome to travel with, if that's ever a concern for you. But yeah, it just flares really easily, so that part I don't necessarily like. But the micro prime does flare a lot less. It's a smoother control as well too, a little bit more like 150-degree rotation throw, all that kind of good stuff, you know. And it's pretty lightweight, you know, so I like that lens a lot for interviews. And for anything, if I just need to carry around like one lens and I don't want to rely on a zoom lens, and I always use that 25mm micro prime. Apologies in this moment if the audio is pretty crappy. I'm actually driving back home right now. We had a long full day shoot. I was up at 4 o'clock. We started filming around 5 a.m. or so, and then we wrapped about 5 p.m. Yeah, about like 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. getting some drone shots for the property and stuff like that. That's probably his favorite time of the day. That's Charlie, my sister's dog. But yeah, you know, looks pretty relaxed. Anyways, so what is the point behind this whole video, right? Just some exposure for you guys. Well, I figured that, you know, every now and then we always are looking for something in the realm of like gear, equipment, you know, all sorts of things that we kind of get wrapped our heads around too much, right? Now, I know for me it's hard sometimes to look at other people, look at what they're using, like the cameras, the lenses, the lighting, the gimbals, whatever they're using, right? It's hard to kind of be not attached to those things, right? And for instance, lenses, right? You see, for me, I have a $4,000 lens to a $500 lens to a $600 lens, right? And for some of you out there, maybe your budget is only $50, right? Like, what could you afford for $50? I don't know. You know, a nifty 50 or something like the vintage end, something that is more affordable, right? And so it's easy to get down on yourself for not having like the best of everything, right? Having like the best lenses, so to speak. But to kind of wrap things up, these are the lenses that I use: Sigma 18 and 35, the laowa 12mm, fujinon 1855, and the SLR Magic 25mm lens. Now again, there are other lenses that I own that I do use from time to time, but I wanted to show you guys the lenses that I use all the time, right? And to kind of give you the inspiration that, you know, sometimes having a bunch of gear, a bunch of equipment, at the end of the day, do you actually use it, right? Or should you honestly sell some stuff, consolidate down to what you only use, and from there kind of just be happy with what you have, because you know at the end of the day, these are like the things you use all the time, right? Is it nice to have other things and, you know, extra piece of gear? Sure. But it has to serve you. It has to serve the purpose of your business, your clients, and also your passion at the same time, right? So if you have any questions regarding any of my other lenses or these lenses, leave them down below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, just so you're notified of new content coming out. And remember, friends, every day you have an opportunity to create your experience and to write and tell your own story. My name is David Lee, and I will catch you guys in the very next video.